where MPs end up, or former MPs end up as cabinet ministers, that probably the president would have focused on getting technocrats who would be more willing to provide answers to members of parliament. Having older members of parliament showing up to, before people they presume are their juniors, is not going to work. It is not just Duale. Any other senior person who's been in parliament may not be willing to answer to junior members, don't you think?
Thank you very much. The state of the nation is a state of the leadership. It is a state of the morality of the leaders. A constitution is just a container that guides the leadership of a nation. But if the container lacks the content, where are we headed to? I think for the few years I've lived in this world and in this country, we have a leadership that is totally devoid of morals. A leadership who seems to be, the main objective is its personal gain, such that as a leadership consultant, and I want to speak for Wanjiku, we are sick and tired of being sick and tired of this leadership. Because they made a lot of promises, but nothing has been achieved. Let me put something into perspective. And I came with this egg specifically because there's a leadership concept I would want to strongly bring out on the table. You see, when you talk about the purpose of leadership, because I think the biggest challenge we have in this country, or with our leaders, is that leadership is misconstrued, is not understood. Because I think the cardinal role of a leader, number one, is to take care of the people. And that demands empathy. That demands that you feel them wananchi, and you appreciate their needs, and you meet their needs. The second cardinal responsibility is to grow them. So you're talking about stewardship in leadership. I'm reading a book called Dare to Turn Your Soul Inside Out. Dare as a leader, by an American lady called Burgess. And she says that great leadership, which is also referred to as either servant leadership or legacy leadership, is about planting trees, clearly knowing that you may never enjoy the shade of the trees that you're planting or even eat the fruits. It is planting trees for posterity. But what do we see in our leaders today? It's not that they're planting trees. They're even cutting the trees that were planted by the previous leaders for personal aggrandizement. And therefore, we are calling upon our leaders, honestly, at least for once, to have the feelings, to have the morality of leadership, because the country is suffering. So, you see, this wanton disrespect of the Constitution tells us one thing. It was not about Wanjiku. It was not about Atieno or Otieno. It was about me. And that is why it doesn't surprise us to see a leader backing down from leadership for preservation and protection of their dynasty.
All right. Yet the Constitution was supposed to remedy this. The fact that the executive is supposed to be checked and is supposed to be held accountable by the houses of legislation.